Hello friend, welcome to day 2. Yesterday I worked on this swatches worksheet with larger size brush pens, and today I'm going to share smaller size brush pens with you using this worksheet. Now, if you aren't really sure what this one is for, I just wanted to explain. So I thought it would be fun to have a worksheet where when we wanted to show swatches, it could just be like practice combined with swatches. So in doing this stroke, this is up and down, thin upstrokes, thick downstrokes several times. And this is just great practice, great warm-ups for hand lettering. And so I thought doing that same one over and over again would be a really fun way to swatch our colors. So there are 12 down, 4 across. I have the Writech Stein brush pens today, and I'm going to do my best to get through them. But these are one of the brush pens that I used in week 1. And I have this vibrant color pack here, and then I have these ones here, which I think I have 11, so I must be missing one, but I'm pretty sure these are the vintage colors. And I say pretty sure because, like I mentioned in my last video, sometimes my colors disappear, or sometimes they get used up and I throw away ones that aren't working, or you know, sometimes I just share with other people. So I think I have kept these somewhat separate. These look to be the colors that are on the back of this box, but just disclaimer, if any are like swapped back and forth, I'm sorry. But I actually do think these might be accurate. So I'm gonna first go ahead and do the vibrant colors here, and we're just going to practice while swatching colors. If you are struggling with this, I would recommend to just take it really slowly, and if you need to lift up your brush pen in between those strokes, you can do that as well. Now, if you are new to this smaller Fude sized brush pen, these are one of my favorites, and I also really like the Pentel Touch brush pen. I would say that Writech has great color combinations. This one, like I said, is the Brights pack, I think. And then they have the vintage colors. There's another color set that I haven't purchased. So they have several different options, which I appreciate, because there are some times when there are brush pens that I absolutely love, but I don't really love any of the colors. And so while I love using them, they don't make me want to like use them in my journal or in an art piece or something. Specifically, the one that I'm thinking of is the Sharpie stained brush pen. That is one of my absolute favorites, if not my favorite brush pen. However, it just only comes in these like super bright colors. I think it's because it's made for hand lettering on, or for painting on like shirts, like fabric. It's a fabric marker. And so it comes in like hot pink and fluorescent yellow. So they do have a black in the pack, which I use often, but I honestly buy the entire pack pretty much just for the black color, because the rest are just so bright. And so I really appreciate that Writech has all of these different color options. I also see that there's a little mark on this page. You probably can't see that, but I will fix that before I send you this worksheet, because I haven't sent it out quite yet as of when I'm filming this. But it's something that I must have when I'm drawing these in Procreate. Sometimes, you know, there's a little mark that I made on the paper and I didn't notice. So I think what happened is I erased some from this side and I must have missed a little bit. Anyway, if you see that, don't worry, I'll fix it before I send these to you. So I wanted to talk about my 10-minute time limit today, but I do want to point out something. The 10-minute time limit is really more something that I've made for myself when it comes to putting out these videos, because I don't ever want you to feel like you have to have more than 10 minutes. That being said, if you want to practice for more than 10 minutes, you do not need to have that time limit by any means. In fact, I would not expect you to. I oftentimes, when I want to sit down and do something along with a video, or if I'm like sitting down at the end of the night, just kind of relaxing, I do, you know, plan to sit there for a little bit longer than 10 minutes. And so one thing I have done to help you with that is I'm organizing these videos into playlists. And so we're going to try to kind of keep with theme, maybe is not the right word, but you know, we're going to kind of all the videos for the week, we're kind of working like, for example, for this week, we are doing kind of the same worksheet for the first couple of days, and then I do have some other things planned for later on in this week. But my point is, if you want to practice longer, go to the playlists, and then you can sit and watch through the videos that maybe you've missed, or if there's any that you just want to practice again, then you can practice multiple times. And you know, now that I'm like thinking about this in my mind, let me know what you think about this idea, because I'm happy to do this if this would be helpful. But one thing that I could do is, if you do want to practice for longer than 10 minutes, what I could do is at the end of the week, I could put all of the videos together and just put music over them, because I was just thinking as I'm saying this that you could definitely go through and practice again and again, but then you're kind of listening to me say the same things over and over, which might not be super fun. I get that. So I guess you could just mute it and put like an audiobook on or something, totally. But if that would be helpful, I could also combine those Monday through Friday videos into kind of one extended video where you are then able to just follow along with everything we did in a video that would be about 50 minutes long. So let me know what you think about that. If you would like the option to practice longer and have kind of like an extra video with all of those, because I am happy to do that if that would be helpful for you. And I could just put music onto it, or like I said, you could just put your own music on. That's kind of what I would like to do. I like to listen to audiobooks. So I would probably just I would just probably have the video on mute, but I'm happy to do that if that would be helpful for you. Now I'm onto the vintage colors, by the way, and that doesn't really show up. Kind of looks brown on camera, but it is like this, kind of like plum with a brown undertone maybe. I'm actually kind of horrible at colors, so I might be totally wrong. But if you followed my color season story, I was apparently wearing all of my very worst colors for most of my life. So maybe not most of my life, most of my adulthood. I did used to wear a lot more bright colors when I was younger, so maybe I shouldn't have stopped. But anyway, let me know if you guys would like me to do that, because I'm happy to kind of compile them into one longer video if you wanted to practice that way as well, and have that for the weekend. I do plan on keeping up with, for most weeks, that Saturday summary video, just so I can kind of go over some of the questions. You guys have had great questions, and I want to be able to talk about those and kind of give like longer answers if needed, and kind of show you. I'm going to show you later on this week my journals, because I know that was another question that I got asked, that you guys wanted to see what journals I'm using a little bit more in detail. So I will do my best to kind of add those things into these videos, but if I'm not able to, I can also go over them on that Saturday summary video. So let me know what you think about that. And I am almost done here. I think I'm going to be one short, but that's okay. So yeah, I will link these pens below. These are just great if you are struggling with thin upstrokes or shaky upstrokes. Just having this tiny little brush tip, see, I can show you how small it is. I just find that it's much easier to control than a giant brush pen. And another thing is, they're just really practical for like using them to do things. So when it comes to things that we do with hand lettering, you know, like writing letters, envelope writing, journaling, writing, like art prints and things like that, most of the time a large brush pen is just not ideal. And so these are perfect for a lot of those projects, in my opinion. Even journaling in my journaling Bible, or like a bullet journal, if you do that, I think that these are just a great size to have on hand. And this is gonna really bother me that I'm gonna have one. I might have to do another color twice, because that will just really feel off, won't it? So I would say, if you are wanting to have longer practice sessions, another option you could do is use these videos as kind of a warm-up, because there are some times where we're going to do a quote or something like a word or something like that, but you could also come back to these and just use these as like warm-up practice drills before you start lettering. I always like to use worksheets when I'm practicing, and I also like to kind of warm up before I'm doing lettering. It just makes me feel like I'm kind of getting all my like mess ups done before I start the real hand lettering. And so I'm a big fan of warm-ups. And so if you wanted to do these videos like before you're doing another, you know, whether you're journaling or your other project, you could definitely use them like warm-ups as well, just whatever works the best for you. But I did want to point that out, that my 10-minute limit is more just because I want to make sure that people don't feel like they need to be able to sit down for a half hour every day and practice. If you just have 10 minutes, that is enough. And a little bit will add up, and you will hopefully see growth and improvement in just 10 minutes a day. But that doesn't mean you have to stop when I stop. So I just wanted to point that out. And let me know if you do have any questions. Let me know what you think about a longer video where these are kind of combined into one for you for the end of the week. Let me know if you would like that, if you would like it to have like sound or music or yeah, just what you think about that. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.